Go ahead and chat along. Huh?
Well, I can show you this old telescope that I was going to give away to some new member. If you want to see it. You want to see it?
Sure.
Why not?
Okay. Well, let me plug in my other camera so I can show it to you. But it's basically an ETX 70 from Meade, and apparently I haven't used it since 2017, but it looks like it's working fine. Okay. Okay, wait a second. What do we got here? Yeah, I know.
I'm getting
I
dizzy.
know.
I don't think I'm in Kansas anymore.
I'm starting to get vertigo.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I'll look away for a minute.
Where's my drama meeting?
Never mind. This is not working. So good.
Rex Joyner.
It's new.
Oh, we might get a newbie here.
It's new.
Wins.
Oh, there we go. Okay, we can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's comes with a case, and there it is folded up, right? I'm trying to, I gotta pull this, okay. There we go, okay. Something like that, I gotta move, okay, so there's a telescope. And I'm gonna kick the case out of the way, hopefully. Can we see this? Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, you can't see down that far. We gotta go over the edge somehow. Aha. All right. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, you've seen these before, right?
Well, screw off the lens cap there so you can see how bad you dinged it up.
Oh, man. Edward. The
What do
price
you
is
want for
right.
free, Ed? I mean, come on.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It don't look bad.
Nice.
Okay.
70 millimeters. F5.0, right? Which is actually, you could see some.
50.
What's kind of cool is they got like a little spot on the end. There's like a little flip mirror. See, there's your eyepiece, goes in here, right? But you can even put like a camera on there. I've never done it with an adapter. And let me rotate this so we can both see it. Yeah, there you go. And there's like a flip mirror that flips. Yeah, so you can put a camera on there and it goes right through. So F5, maybe that's the perfect scope for Peter, the EAA scope, F5.
Could be.
What do you say, Pete?
I'm not a new member.
Got batteries, so I don't know if you can see this very well, but okay. You can see the base, okay. So I'm gonna level it. Normally what you do, all you do is you level it and point it to approximate north. And it's alive. Yeah, it's alive. So I got the date and I'm gonna say it's 8 o'clock, daylight savings. Then you hit the mode key, you can bypass all that stuff. And you can just go to objects, just like in a regular Meade control. Let me see, objects, see objects. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. Enter. Let's go to a constellation. Yeah. Andromeda, I don't know if that's up. Says it's up. And there it is. Go to. Enter. Go to. Oh, below the horizon. Dummy.
I saw Joe shaking his head.
Okay. Well, let's pick something else, but
Try M65 or M82.
yeah, okay. Deep sky, enter. Black holes, icy object, NGC, Caldwell, Messier. That's it. And then you got to go 1, 8, 1, 2, enter. And it says it's an irregular galaxy, enter. Holy cow, look at
Lots of fun for girls and boys.
It didn't move quite as much as I thought.
that. Yeah.
Could be higher than that.
By the way, Jim,
I think we had, I don't know, I have to check it out, see if something weird happened with the gear or something, but, oh, I probably didn't have it locked down inside there.
Did you say what the magnification is on it?
Well, let me see, you got 480 millimeters, right? No, that's not right.
350.
350.
Yeah,
So a 10 millimeter eyepiece give you 35x. That'd be a great scope for birding.
I've seen planets in this thing. I've seen like Jupiter and stuff. You know, I mean, it's small, but it's doable. You can see the Pleiades, I think, look really good in it. I've seen Orion. You know? I mean, what do you want? You know, you put a 10 in.
We want a lot, Jim.
Don't get
Well,
defensive.
if
Jay.
you put a 10 in there with a Barlow, now you're down to about 5 millimeters. So now you're at 70x, right? You could see the rings in Saturn. You know, I mean, think of yourself as Galileo a little bit, but you know.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
That flip mirror is actually a neat feature. I had an ETX 90 a
Uh-huh.
number of years back, and I actually used that. You know, the camera hangs straight to the back there and has the same equivalent focal length, so that you have your eyepiece on the top. And I used that was back in the film days, 20 years,
Yeah.
2000. And anyways, the photos, that moon, that was taken with the ETX 90. Those lunar eclipse photos on the back, on
Yeah.
the side there.
Yeah.
So it worked pretty good. And,
Yeah, I'm back with my parrot, Preston the parrot. Yeah.
And probably work. Yeah, you're. Why don't you put them on your shoulder?
That's his name, you know. So.
You get
But-
one of these, you get mount that mounts on the back of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've seen.
Jim, you just died.
Oh, he froze. I thought he had a stroke.
I'm here. Am I here?
Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Wow. Okay.
Or your front.
Well, anyways, I don't want to take up all your time, but basically, it worked for me. You could take it on the camp out, and a lot of stuff you look at is kind of wide field. The star clusters are kind of cool. So, maybe you need a Barlow with it. Maybe that was the trick. But I used like a 25 and I don't know, a 9 or a 10 and maybe a Barlow sometimes.
It came with a short Barlow. I don't know if you could use a regular Barlow or you have to go to that specialty Meade or Celestron type short Barlow. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe the new owner could figure that out. But I'd at least throw in a couple eyepieces if somebody else can't figure it, because I'm a little short. But anyways, I could throw in a couple. So, All right. Okay, so put your hand up if you want to be considered a new member.
Well, you said Rex Joyner's a new member?
But wait a minute, I think you ought to put that on our website thing.
Well,
You know, we're having an open-ended drawing or something like that. Keep it open for several months. And then after several months, you could draw or whatever like that to give to somebody, so that everybody who visited our site would then be inclined to want to register or something like that, to register for the scope and give us their email and phone number, and then we can contact them or whatever, I guess.
Should we give Rex the floor? since he's a
I'm
new
here, but
member?
I'm in a noisy environment.
Oh, okay.
So I've been on mute. I've been watching, but I've been on mute for all this time.
Oh, okay.
Again, the background noise is probably overwhelming the audio, so I'm gonna mute it again.
It wasn't too bad, but if you want, you can type in the chat. If I don't know if you're on a phone or something, or if that's like hard to see on the screen, but
I don't
Are
know the
you,
Zoom
uh,
controls very well. How do I get to chat?
there might be a little chat button. If you like tap your screen, it might show up.
Top or bottom?
Maybe just in the middle and see if it pops up.
Also, alternate H works for the chat.
Are you a new member or a guest?
I'm a guest.
Okay. Well, it's nice to have you.
Thank you. I'm looking for the chat button. Let's see the chat button. The participants, share, stop video, mute. Let's see at the bottom. There's a more button. There's a more button. It
It's-
says chat. Oh, there's chat. I found it.
Okay. Well, the background noise, it's kind of like, it's not too bad. I mean, I can tell what you're saying if you want to
Okay.
talk too. But if you prefer to use the chat, that's fine too.
I get muted anyway.
Okay.
Like a dog fight.
Okay,
Was anyone in a location where they could see the eclipse on Sunday? Or no?
No.
Yeah, my friend in Fort Myers, Florida, that was that phone call, Pete. The guy called at 11:28 that I didn't answer. Yeah, he says, well, we're seeing it down here. It's really a beautiful sight. So I'm glad I didn't answer that call.
He's gonna rub your
He got
nose.
that as
in
a
it, huh?
picture.
Oh yeah, he always does that. You know, every time there's a winter storm, he calls up and lets me know there's a winter storm on the way. So that's what you call a good friend. You know.
Yeah. He likes you.
likes to mess with me. That's what I'm saying.
Like, fill your pockets with rocks before he pushes you in, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
I have, I took some images off the screen. I watched it virtually from basically where I'm sitting now last night. I
Mhm.
watched it. I could go through those really quick if you want to see them.
Yeah, please.
And let me see if I can do this.
Is the share turned on?
Share, yeah, share screen. Let's see.
While he's doing that, I just checked our Facebook page and there's a photo of the observatory that I think Russell took. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Russell because it's a really good photo.
Good, thank you.
Okay, is everybody seeing this?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is the first shot and it was taken, you could see the UTC time bottom right there. I don't know if my cursor shows. This camera, I swear it was taken from Morocco, okay? Then they have another live one over here from Chile. Okay, this is 15 minutes later. So definitely you saw, and this is the timeline coming down. There's totality right at that red line. Okay, and there's another 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes. Another one. And now we're getting close to totality, but this one was from San Diego, California. And you can see its exposure is not probably the most ideal, but yet it works. These two cameras were not oriented the same, and they were taken from different locations, which I think had a little bit to do with it, but they tried to explain that it was all location and not the telescopes. This is back at Morocco. And this does show a little color, so maybe it wasn't a black and white camera. There it is, and it's in total eclipse right now. You can see that. And this is the one from San Diego. And there's one from Tucson on the right. I'm gonna go up here and see if I can switch.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Whoops, I'm not, I don't think in the right, I might be confusing, but anyway, there was a good shot of it that I had. Where am I now? I don't know if I can get back to Zoom.
Oh, I think it like glitched, at least it did on my screen.
Yeah.
I just see like a vertical line.
Okay,
Doing a spectrograph there, or
I'm gonna resume. Do I resume my share? Is that
He's
what
been
I do?
pixelated.
Is it pixelated?
No, you have.
I may have to sign out. I don't know.
Stop sharing.
Let me see if I can. There's a ballot. Is that right?
Can't see it.
I don't see it.
Okay,
Something
we'll get
technical
to that
difficulties.
a little later. Share screen. Let's see if I can stop share. There it is. Sorry, but that gives you an idea. I went to totality and then I didn't finish it out. So Ed and Pete, we're at the observatory. You want to make a report?
It rained.
That the growler that Ed brought out was excellent.
That was the highlight. We actually, right before it started, saw the moon almost peek through the cloud. We were hoping for like a sucker hole that was going to have a little, thing that we might just luck out or whatever like that. And there might have been one later on, but the thing was, because it was now in the eclipse mode, you no longer get that bright light, so we couldn't see it through any kind of thin cover. But we almost saw the moon almost just poked through right at the beginning. I think that was right when it was entering the penumbra, wasn't it? I mean, it was almost at the start of the
About
thing
11,
there. Yeah, 11, 10, 11, 15. Yeah. So, well, we tried anyways. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I mean, that's the thing, so.
Anybody interested in the rain date of November 8th at 4 a.m.?
Right.
Think about that one.
Well, we're always interested. It's just a question of you think it'll work. It was just unfortunate. It was just like we had pretty good weather, but then we just had that 24-hour window when it was right over us, and it just kind of stuck. And then it goes that way sometimes. I was hoping that other front out west was going to hold up, and it just accelerated and joined the other low pressure that was east of us, and they just made a mess of it for that night. And nice blue skies for the following morning, which is normal, I guess. But well, if worst comes to worst, Phil, you can drag out the photos I took of the January 19 one on the file.
I've got a picture of the eclipse from the Galapagos Islands. If you give me a second. There it is. Hello?
Hello.
we're all pretty good with this Zoom stuff, aren't we?
Yeah,
2 years and look at all the advances.
here's the eclipse. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, my sister-in-law went to the, no, she's a niece-in-law, never mind. Anyways, my wife's nephew's wife, whatever that is. So anyway, she went to the Galapagos Islands. And let me see if I can get through them all. Okay, that looks like we got a lot of eclipse. And I got less eclipse. A little more. And these were probably taken with like an iPhone or something. Okay, I think you could see that. Okay. And they even got birds out there too. Okay, stop share. There you go. Hope that was good.
So I've always wondered the difference between 40 degrees north latitude and 40 degrees south latitude, the perspective you'd have on the moon. Is it much difference or just a few degrees of parallax?
It's the same, except it's upside down, I think. Or would it be upside down? I think, but we all see the same thing at the same time on a lunar eclipse.
Hey guys, Rex put a comment in the chat if you want to take a look. He says his main purpose is he wants to connect with a couple of friends from 50 years ago that were in FLOSS. Does anyone know of Tom O'Keefe or Jeff Nix? Are those names familiar? You're muted, Gene.
Jeff Nix.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the name.
Okay.
I think I do too. And Tom O'Keefe, I remember that name too.
Okay.
They were teenagers
Yeah,
when I first joined. And Nix and O'Keefe published a, I guess it was a paper that might be in the club's archives. It was, they did a project and published a result.
Jeff actually made his own telescope, including grinding his own mirror.
Does
He's
he
about
still
14.
have that?
I don't know. I think it was an 8-inch mirror, if I remember correctly. Maybe 6 inch, but I think it was 8-inch. I believe he was 14 at the time.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive at 14 to do that.
Just remember they were real enthusiastic about FLOSS. I've always remembered FLOSS. They talk about going to events at Mount Willig all the time. When you're at Fox Island at Mount Willig. How long did you leave Mount Willig?
Did you say how long ago did we leave it?
How long ago? I know you're in New Haven now.
You went to Fox Island.
what was it? Gene, was that 72?
I think it was 79 we left Mount Willig and went to Fox Island.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Yeah, they went when they were active. Your observatory was at Mount Willig on Fox Island.
Yep. And I think they were kind of on the forefront of astrophotography too, if I remember right.
Just wondering whatever happened to 2 of my close friends growing up.
Oh.
Somebody have a TV on or something.
I
Oh,
think
he's in
it's
like a
Rex. It's Rex's.
in a like a public space or something.
Oh,
I'm having dinner in Pizza Hut, believe it or not. I'll turn it on mute so I don't overwhelm the video audio.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're still involved in like astronomy.
Don't know. I became a physics professor.
wow.
Do you teach at Indiana Tech?
Yes.
Okay, I thought your name sounded familiar. I work in the marketing department there.
Oh, wow. Neat.
You know, if there's a master list of astronomers, if you go to a network night sky or something like that, if you could Google somebody.
Mm.
Instead of doing it the smart modern way, like using Google or something like that, or Facebook, I'm just doing it the hard way by going to places like this.
Julie, are
Yes.
you waiting to conduct our election here?
Oh, we can. We were just kind of,
Just to get it out of the way.
yeah, go ahead.
Looks like we board members are going to be electing ourselves.
Yeah, go ahead, because we don't have much else going on, so.
I got a little something to talk about the spectroscope, but with Joe, and you guys are welcome to listen after your election or whatever other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, you and Phil, Gene, are you guys gonna take over for the election thing, or I don't know how you got it split up? Okay, Phil, I guess.
Yeah, here's the ballot. And basically it's everybody is, as far as I know, are willing to re-up. So I put our name, my name and Gene's at the bottom because I thought we might have some nominations or something, but does anyone have any nomination that we can add?
I have a question about a nominee that's on there.
Yeah,
Dan Varnick, is he actually still involved?
I'm not sure.
I don't think it's really active, at least in a board meeting type of way anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So should he be off there? I did not hear from him or anything.
I think so.
He's still, I hope he remains in the club. You want me to remove him?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
consent to that. I don't think he'll be
Yeah.
hurt or anything. And
Okay, yeah. And he might be interested in being an advisor or something.
I mean, we could always send him an email as courtesy and say, we took you off the board, but if you're interested in participating, we'd be fine if you are participating.
Yeah.
Something like to that effect, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, well, are there any new nominations that anyone has? Is there a motion to close the nominations?
So move.
Second.
Yeah, second.
Okay, all those, this should be by secret ballot. Can we just do it with a, or
Chat. We can send a chat to whoever's
why don't you
recording.
send a chat to me? And
Sounds
you can
great.
say vote for all, or if you do not want a person on there, just put no and with their last name.
Okay.
And then send it to me. And I think will I be the only one to see it, Sarah?
As long as everyone, there should be a drop down in your chat that's blue and you can select a name. So
Yeah.
click on that and select Phil Hudson, and that way when you type, it'll go to him and not everyone. If you don't do that, then we're all gonna see your super secret.
Oh, gosh.
We can just put a handkerchief over our mouths and disguise our voices and get them all up, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So yes, if we approve, no, if we don't, what's,
If you don't, if you disapprove of anyone, just say no and then put their last name on it. And if you want to vote for all of them, just put all.
okay.
Yeah.
Except I don't know how much, I'll leave it up here for what, another minute or so.
Okay.
And while I have screen sharing on, I'm not seeing my chat. So I probably will have, I'll see that when I close the screen. Is that right? Does anybody know that?
Yeah, it'll be there.
Okay. And Gene's on there too. You could put his name in there, the two, since we're both on, but.
I got it up. How do I send it?
Just hit enter.
That little arrow there on the right of it. Little blue arrow.
I just hit enter after I typed it and it went.
I did too, but did you get it, Phil?
I can't see that yet because I have the screen share on.
Yeah, but it'll pop up.
But I think this
Go ahead and drop. Go ahead and drop the.
I can close this
Yeah,
file.
Kill
But
the screen.
does anybody else want it to remain available here before I close it down? Just a couple, 15 seconds. If you want me to hold it on longer, let me know.
I think you can close it.
Okay. Okay, there I do see the votes. And let me tab it and go ahead and do what you have to do. I'll give you a report here.
Phil, did you get one from me?
It looks like I just get initials.
I'm the only LC you got.
I got an L.
Okay, that'd be it then.
That'd be it because you just have, so yeah, let me go through them and I'll check them off. So,
It doesn't give any indication that I sent it or anything.
okay.
EU.
I guess they're kind of, I got a lot of them. They're mixed in with comments.
Larry,
from
look on your
everyone.
chat sheet for tonight. It'll show whether it was sent or not from you.
Yeah. Mine said at the top, me to Phil Hudson.
That's what mine says too.
So mine said that, then you go down and type the message in. And you have, and hit enter, you have no way of knowing if it's sent. It
Isn't-
just says that's where it's going, but it doesn't give you indication.
Well,
Well,
after I hit enter, it said me to Phil Hudson.
Right.
So they not, like when you typed it and then it goes up top and says me to Phil Hudson.
Oh, well, maybe it did. I don't know. I know I picked Phil Hudson, as a sender. I mean, as a receiver, and then maybe it did put it up there. I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
If you click on the chat balloon, it'll pull up the chat and it'll show what you sent. Like, for example, it says me to Phil Hudson, me to Sarah, Rex to everyone, etc. It shows that stuff.
Sounds like you sent it, Larry. It says me to.
Yeah, I think I did. It's just, I don't like the way it does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got it. So,
Yeah. Well, maybe we can get.
I would, it looks like that all the nominees are elected
Oh, boy.
by the
Cool.
vote.
Yay.
And it looks like, I think that it's unanimous. I was looking for,
Nobody's gonna get out of it.
Yeah. Well, I won't say who was voted blackballed, but
Okay.
but no, I don't see anybody blackballed.
Okay.
All right, we're not trying hard enough.
Oh, it's a total unanimous on the vote.
Wow.
All right, Jim. Are
Okay.
we done with all that?
Yeah.
All right, Jim, you have the floor then.
Okay. Joe asked me, and he probably doesn't know how far I've gone off the deep end. But he said,
I think we all know, Jim.
I'm going to translate what Joe told me. He said he has a problem with this L. Hires spectroscope and lining up the slits on the camera in the correct orientation. There's 2 set screws on a collar and you unloosen those. And I was out there at the observatory and he says, don't touch those set screws.
That's right.
Because it's difficult to align it correctly. And I think, and so he was looking for a rotator. So I started fiddling around and I spent way too much time on it. But, it's kind of like, I kind of like doing mechanical stuff sometimes, and hopefully it actually works out in some cases. So basically what I found, he pointed me to some stuff on the web. And okay, this is the wrong screen. Hang on. Okay, how do we get back to Zoom? Zoom. Okay. Oh, help. I've shared and I can't get out of sharing the right thing. Okay. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. So this is the eyepiece and Zoom meeting course, and we're going to go to something a little different. Okay, this is, no, that's something different. We don't want to see.
Wrong part.
This is, okay. Okay, we don't want to see this either. This is what we want to see. It's a little bit difficult because I don't have 2 screens to look at. So I'm signing into Onshape. It's a CAD program. And as you see, this is astronomy stuff. And we have a whole folder for spectroscope now. And the spectroscope is the L. Hires. So he wants a rotator, right? So now you sing the Jeopardy theme song, doo, 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 while you're waiting for the cloud to come up with this stuff. And let's see, are we in the assembly? Let's go to the assembly. Okay, and what are we looking at? What in the world is this?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's put the spectroscope in. And we,
Go ahead.
I could be. Okay. This thing that's highlighted here, that's the spectroscope according to the CAD data I downloaded. If that data is incorrect, then we're in trouble, right?
Looks right.
Yeah, I think it's right. This is the camera.
Except for the
I
slick
maybe-
camera on the side, not in the front like that.
Huh?
Slick camera's on the side, not on the front like that.
No,
it's fine.
I don't think you're right about that. Sorry,
No,
Phil. Sorry,
it's got
Peter.
It's right.
Yeah.
Flip camera's above the data camera.
Okay. Well, look. Anyways, this camera, that's the camera, and then there's a mounting tube. And when I was at the observatory, I measured the diameter of this thing. I didn't. All these things are not really that important. And then this is his collar. I didn't put in the screws, but that's his collar. But I measured this dimension from here to here, which is about 1.5 inches or something. And let's see. So basically what happens is I'm gonna make some things disappear. All right. So this is the tube that feeds the camera. And right now, it's actually threaded. It goes into a threaded flange. So what I did was I replaced the threaded flange with a flange that has a smooth bore, and then there's a ring, and then this is 3D printed to replace the existing flange. This tube is mounted to the camera, but it's no longer screwed into this mounting flange on the spectroscope. So it rotates inside of this housing. And then this gear, which basically I got from a distributor that makes worm gears and modified it, clamps onto the tube, and the worm gear at the top rotates, and you turn the little wheel, see that, and the worm gear turns. This isn't turning because I haven't set it up that way, but each one of those divisions is a degree. So one turn of this wheel is 7.2 degrees. So that's basically what you got in the CAD. Okay. All right, wonderful. So how's this thing work out in the real world, you know?
Looks impressive. Looks like it has a good chance to work. My only concern was it looked like the case had didn't have a hole for the light to go through it.
Oh, it does.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, okay, so now I'm gonna show you the rest of the story. This is a mock-up of what it is. I've got to make one more, but this would actually be functional. And this is the tube here. This is the tube that I 3D printed, but that's right now in your spectroscope. And then you could see the gear, and then here's our worm gear. And there's internally here, there are springs that push the shaft into contact with the gear to kind of give it a little better and less backlash. But now we'll turn it, and lo and behold, you can see it's actually turning.
That's
And
cool.
it seems pretty decent, you know?
Yeah, we'll have to actually size it up, do a mechanical fit check and see how it
Yeah.
actually works.
I mean, this plate on the back, it doesn't have the hole, but it has all the 4 holes for the flange and the 4 holes for the where the spectroscope. So we should be able to just basically take those screws off and mount the flange. We should be able to mount this contraption on the front minus this tube and see what happens, you know? So,
right.
So
is there a
anyhow,
locking mechanism, Jim? Is there a way to keep it from turning?
Well, I knew you were going to ask that.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I know the spec I gave you was a little bit vague in that area.
Well, I don't think there was much spec, but I knew what you kind of were thinking about. The thing is worm gears, normally you don't have a lock, because if you try to turn it against the gear ratio is so high, and they basically automatically lock and stay in a position. In addition, this thing has got about, I don't know, 40 pounds of force pushing downwards on the gear. So, I mean, I think it's pretty solid, but if that was a consideration, I mean, I've read about some of the other, mechanical, design considerations with worm gears, and they say, well, it's just, you normally don't need it, but
I think that tube has to screw into the camera.
this here, yes,
Yeah,
it does.
so it has to be threaded.
This is part of the camera. Yeah, it's threaded,
Okay,
but it's threaded. It's actually a 35 millimeter thread on the outside, and this tube is larger than that. This is the same OD as the tube. The tube is just a shade under 1.5 inches, but then they threaded it down to 35 to fit inside your mounting flange. So we don't have to do anything with the tube. It should slide right inside here. And then we secure it with these 3 little set screws. And this is the Model 1. And the Model 2, I got clearance where my finger is so that you can, unlock the set screws and take it apart a lot easier. You can pull the whole camera out. And the other cool thing is if you just press up on the knob, you can like rotate the whole camera. So that's good for, some night I'm at the observatory when you're not around, and I'll just like do this, and you'll come back and it's like,
it's
but
all messed up.
yeah. So that's where we are, so
That's really amazing.
well,
I'll have to make a plan to get together out there and
yeah.
see how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I started out wanting to put bearings in there and stuff, and I thought, well, I don't know. I mean, I could buy linear bearings and ball bearings and all this stuff, but basically I just got 2 parts that, like this
Yeah,
gear kind of snaps onto the flange. It's like snaps onto it. So, it's not, I think, a little less complicated than, is better. So,
okay.
okay.
We'll see how much play there is and how much bend there is when we move it at some
Right.
angles.
Yeah. I mean, that is the question, and I don't know if it turns out it's not real great. The other option is to try to make something that's machinable, but at least with your printed, you can make a lot of mistakes cheaply,
Sure.
So Jim, did you ever make the iPhone holder?
No, I didn't make that. I can make one. They're kind of out there.
I thought you said you were going to make a bunch of those to leave out there or something.
Yeah, that's on my do list. Yeah, but I loved it,
okay.
I was more interested in the worm gear thing,
And thank you for that.
Well, I could print up some iPhone holders that don't even require design, and maybe come up with an adapter. I found one that has a pretty big adapter for a lot of different eyepiece sizes. There's a lot of people that are pretty clever that have already designed that. So I'll try to get that taken care of in the next 3 weeks, but I'm going to be working on my deck and stuff too. So
When we go out there, I want you to take a look at a 1-inch adapter that might be kind of handy.
okay.
Turns out the 80 millimeter finder scope that's on the 16 is a 1¼ inch focuser.
Yes.
Big and it's beefy, and it would be
Yeah.
nice to be able to eliminate the diagonal that's on there.
Okay. So where's the light going to go? I don't know. I don't get that.
It would go directly into a guide camera. Run it into a
Oh, okay. Yeah.
ASI 120.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the best
Not a high
thing,
priority.
yeah, the best thing would be to get all this stuff whenever, I'd like to go out to the observatory on a productive night, like when it's a dark night or something, but,
Well, fit check and all that can be done during the day. We don't have to burn
Yeah.
a clear night.
yeah, I'm pretty booked up this week. I got Thursday and then Indianapolis 500, but maybe next week sometime it'll work.
Yeah. Memorial Day week is my best week. I'm out All but Tuesday and Wednesday, no, Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Yeah.
I have a lot of travel last couple months and into June. So we'll have to coordinate a date.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but basically Saturday and Sunday I'm down in Indy, you know.
Yeah.
And Thursday I gotta go to Michigan to, somebody invited me up to the Michiana Astronomy group or something. I don't know. It's a kind of a wild goose chase, but there's some guy that works with Hyperstar. He's got an 8-inch with Hyperstar and he wants to talk to me about it. So I think it's,
Oh.
I think he's a plant by Peter's Secret Service or something to get me going on Hyperstar.
You told me you got one in your closet?
It's in the garage actually. But
Oh,
yeah.
it's in the garage. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll be able to answer any and all questions.
Well, I just noticed that this little telescope is an F5 and I'm thinking, so why get Hyperstar? Why not get a free Meade telescope and just plug a camera in? I mean,
Because we want that F2.
get a focal reducer. What's F5 to F2? You just get a 0.5. You got a, yeah.
Dave's son. Hey, Dave, before you
Hey,
leave
Dave.
there, I was gonna say we ought to give a shout out to Mike there for getting the picnic table. Well done job there, man. He got on top of the organization there and the thing was sitting there bought.
Yeah.
In a few days.
And Phil
Yeah,
used it.
no problem. Happy to do it. We just stumbled upon a good deal. It was too good to pass up, and just went out and got her done in a couple of hours. And old Smokey next door, he enjoyed watching me struggle. Getting those it went fine. It was fine. I was happy to do it, really.
Yeah, I noticed he moved the old table closer to his place after he saw our new one.
Oh, did he?
He won't have to give it back.
He's probably eyeing that for potential firewood, the old one.
I gotta say, he'll finish up this fall as firewood.
Yeah.
Well, I went out to the observatory last Friday night, hoping somebody would be out there because I knew the weather would be bad Saturday and Sunday. Nobody else is there, but I played around with my equipment and scope. And I noticed that table was moved around to the other side of the building, so which is probably a good place for it. It's out kind of out of sight now.
Yeah.
I used it last
So it
night.
won't get legs. Hopefully, walk away.
I pulled it out and used it last night, and you know, one person can move it too. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wintertime we can put it
It's
in
pretty
the-
nice.
Be nice if we had FWAS on our table somewhere.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dave, last night, Phil and I were checking out the roof when the roof opens on both sides of the observatory. And what's odd is that there's no weight on those on the wheels. Even when you got the roof about half open, there's no weight on the outer pedestals at all. You can reach up in there and you can spin those wheels. And we noticed where it's been grinding against one of those steel, whatever you want to call it, the piece that runs all the way out there.
The channel.
And I think that's where, on the right side at least, that's been hanging up right there, where that you can feel the motor working a lot harder when it goes by there, and the paint's all straight there. And
Yeah. How many sets of wheels are there on that?
oh, there's a lot. There's probably
Dozen or so or more.
Yeah.
They're about every foot, I think.
But what's weird is on that side, at least, when you open the thing halfway up, you can reach up in there and you can spin all those wheels.
Like, what's the gap? You know,
The gap?
between the wheel and the tubing.
When I put a ladder up above, it was as much as 3/8 of an inch, it seemed like. Down
Okay.
below, probably only 1/8 of an inch or so on that rail.
I wonder if we should be thinking of, well, it's not totally crazy, but maybe, I don't know, maybe if we could have some springs and support the wheels on springs, we'd have like some tolerance for misalignment, you know?
Well, it almost seems like that the outer footings have dropped a little bit or something.
Yeah, so, but you get what I'm saying, if the wheels aren't in contact, they're like going over a road that's bumpy.
It'd have to be awful heavy springs. I don't know how you'd incorporate that in there, but
I don't know. Yeah, it's certainly not gonna 3D print them, I'll tell you that.
no.
Oh, don't give up, Jim.
You could try.
But I don't know.
So anyway, Phil and I were thinking we can maybe take a grinder and grind a little bit of that. I don't want to call it an I-beam, but that steel channel.
Yeah, it's a
Kind of
steel, it's
Yeah.
a tube, I think, steel tube.
It's a
It's
rail.
a slotted channel with the,
Slut.
I don't know, trying to figure out the balance points and the weight loads and the structure and the way those wheels are into that assembly mounted in, they're mounted in rigid into the base. And I don't know, that's, I think it's getting above our pay grade.
Right.
Can you put a level across there and see if it's flat?
We could check something like that. I got that digital level that's pretty accurate. Now on the other side that causes all the problems, we didn't find any areas that where the roof was grinding, except for very lightly on a couple of the uprights on the high end. But we didn't find anything like on the right side where there's that area where it's been heavily grinding against the steel channel.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going on the left side because there's nothing apparent on that side, obviously apparent.
Well, there was a screw that it was sort of hanging up on near the door.
Well, it didn't really hang. Phil and I watched that, and it kind of hit that, but it didn't seem like it was hitting it hard enough to really. I mean, it was just barely glancing off that, I think.
We should have taken a wrench to it while he had the ladder out. That would have been a simple fix.
Right.
And then and then that flashing, that covering was scraping off on the south side. There was paint coming off on that. I don't know that that was a real heavy contact, but that's what's taking the paint off on that one side.
Well, that's where the contact is pretty heavy right there.
Yeah, and it's pretty obvious what's going on. It's that cover, that aluminum plate or flashing, whatever, it does need to get cut back.
Right, but on the north side, there's a good half an inch of clearance all the way around, and for some reason on that side, there's almost no clearance. Even if you took that flashing off, it's going to be awful close there.
You think the roof is actually twisted around? It's sort of.
Well, yeah, and without lasers and stuff, I don't know how you'd ever determine what's actually moved there, you know. But like I say, take an engineer.
Well, I don't know.
So I guess nothing's gonna be resolved, Dave, so you might as well start going, go get some sleep or whatever.
Yeah,
Tune in next
I'll
week.
figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll be checking for the paint rub and stuff. Which is it, the east side that's missing gapping?
No, it would be on the south wing or the
West.
the west wing.
The west wing.
Yeah,
On
that's
the
where the flashing is.
Is that where it's rubbing to? Is on the
Yeah.
on the low side on the west wing.
Mhm.
Okay, is that where the gap in the wheel is too, or?
Well, yeah, that's when we had that roof as much as halfway open, and you can reach up in that slot and you can spin those wheels freely all the way down the line.
On the east side or the west side?
The west side.
Okay.
Well, the
Now-
lower ones,
The what?
the lower ones.
And the upper
Yeah.
ones. I
And the
checked both of them. And that's what was weird was that roof was almost halfway open and there was no load on anything out there. High
But
or
this is,
low.
this is southwest. What about the northwest side?
We're talking about the west wing.
Yeah, I know.
All right, you
But
got
the
wheels on the
wall-
top and the bottom.
All the wheels can't be spinning freely on one side, otherwise the roof would fall off.
But they are.
You know, but what I'm
It's
saying is,
levitating.
isn't there like a,
When the roof is about halfway open, all the weight is still on the building itself. None of the weight has been transferred to the outside rails.
okay,
So it must be wedged down.
So I don't know where the balance point is at is. Phil thought he could hang off of it and see if it would tip a little bit, but obviously Phil's weight is not gonna be.
You should have hung on Phil. Get
Phil,
more
how long you
people.
spent on engineering that?
When it was about 4 feet from opening, as wide as we open it, I heard it drop, so there was then weight on the wheel. So it's pretty far out before that weight drops down on the wheels to the west, Yeah,
Oh.
both the upper and the lower. Weird.
Yeah, I'll look at that. I think those are bolted to those pads.
Yeah, you definitely need somebody running it and watching it, close on the outside too. So
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of shims.
Oh, so you can adjust those wheels
I
up
don't-
and,
No, it sounds like your rails have dropped.
right.
So I don't know
That's-
if those are probably bolted to that concrete. I'll find out. But I don't know how much trouble that's gonna be trying to raise that thing up, but I'll take a look at it.
Now, the left side, the side that we've had more difficulty with, we didn't really examine that the same as closely.
Yeah,
Other than that, we didn't see any obvious places where the door would, the roof was scraping. Like on the right side there.
yeah,
okay.
well, even if you shim it all up, though, I think we need some compliance added, like give the wheels some range of motion. And I wasn't kidding about springs. Maybe it's rubber pads or something somewhere.
I'm gonna head out. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank
thanks,
you.
Sarah.
Bye.
Anyhow, okay.